What if I told you that true freedom has nothing to do with wealth, power, or even your circumstances? Imagine being chained, beaten, or exiled, and still claiming to be freer than the rulers of Rome. That is exactly what Epictetus, a former slave who became a Stoic philosopher, believed. His teachings have the power to reshape how we see control, suffering, and inner strength. Before we go deeper, let me ask you this. Do you truly control your life, or are you controlled by the world around you? In this video, we are going to explore 10 timeless lessons from Epictetus that will help you master your mind, find peace in chaos, and live with unshakable resilience. Let us begin with his most fundamental teaching: the difference between what we can control and what we cannot control. Lesson 1. Focus on what you can control. Epictetus begins with a powerful truth. Some things are in our control, and others are not. Our thoughts, choices, and actions belong to us. Fame, wealth, other people's opinions, or even our health do not. The mistake we often make is wasting our energy on things that lie outside our reach. Epictetus reminds us that freedom starts the moment we shift our attention to what we can influence. Imagine carrying 2 bags. One bag is light because it holds only your thoughts and actions. The other is unbearably heavy because it contains the entire world and all its problems. Which bag are you carrying? Lesson 2. Freedom is a state of mind. For Epictetus, true freedom has nothing to do with external conditions. He lived much of his life as a slave, yet he considered himself freer than many of Rome's most powerful men. Why? Because while chains could restrain his body, nothing could imprison his mind. Freedom is not about doing whatever you want. It is about mastering your desires, your fears, and your reactions. When you can say, "I cannot control what happens, but I can control how I respond," you discover a form of freedom that no one can take away. Lesson 3. Suffering comes from within. Have you ever noticed how 2 people can face the same hardship but respond in completely different ways? Epictetus believed that suffering is not caused by events themselves, but by the judgments we place on them. If someone insults you, their words mean nothing until you decide they matter. If you lose money, the event itself is neutral, but your interpretation creates pain or peace. By training your mind to see events without unnecessary judgment, you reduce suffering at its root. This does not mean ignoring reality. It means choosing a perspective that gives you strength instead of weakness. Lesson 4. Discipline is the path to freedom. To live as Epictetus taught is not easy. It requires discipline, both of mind and body. Discipline is not punishment. It is the training that makes freedom possible. Think of an athlete. Without discipline, they cannot move with strength and grace. Without discipline, we cannot live with clarity and calm. Epictetus often said that every challenge is a chance to practice discipline. When someone tests your patience, that is your opportunity to strengthen self-control. When life throws setbacks at you, that is your training ground for resilience. Lesson 5. Do not be a slave to desire. Epictetus warned that most people live as slaves, not because they are owned by another person, but because they are ruled by desire. The constant craving for approval, wealth, comfort, or pleasure keeps us chained. The more we chase, the more we feel trapped. Freedom comes when we learn to master desire rather than obey it. This does not mean rejecting pleasure entirely. It means enjoying it without becoming dependent on it. If you can say, "I can live with this, but I can also live without it," then you are no longer a prisoner of your desires. Lesson 6. Accept fate with courage. One of the central teachings of Epictetus is the idea of accepting fate. Life will bring illness, loss, and challenges that no one can escape. To resist reality only deepens the pain. Epictetus advised that we meet life with courage by saying, "This is not what I wanted, but it is what has been given." Acceptance does not mean passive surrender. It means standing firm in the face of what you cannot change, while still choosing how to respond with dignity. This shift turns tragedy into a test of character instead of a reason for despair. Lesson 7. Choose your company wisely. Epictetus often warned that the people you surround yourself with shape your mind and character. If you spend time with those who gossip, you will become a gossip. If you walk with those who seek wisdom, you will grow wiser. He believed that our companions can either help us live with virtue or pull us into weakness. Choosing friends is therefore not a casual decision, but a moral one. Ask yourself, do the people around me help me grow, or do they chain me to lower desires? The answer reveals much about the direction of your life. Lesson 8. Practice daily reflection. To Epictetus, philosophy was not abstract theory, but a daily practice. He urged his students to end each day by asking themselves questions. What did I do well? Where did I fail? How can I improve tomorrow? This kind of reflection sharpens awareness and keeps the soul from drifting aimlessly. It is like polishing a mirror. Over time, the image becomes clearer, and you see yourself as you truly are. Reflection is the discipline that transforms knowledge into wisdom. Without it, even the greatest teachings remain just words. Lesson 9. True wealth is living simply. In a world filled with luxury and ambition, Epictetus reminded his followers that true wealth lies in needing little. He saw poverty not as the absence of possessions, but as freedom from dependence on them. When you are content with the simple, you are never poor. But if you always crave more, even great riches cannot satisfy you. Living simply does not mean rejecting comfort entirely. It means being able to enjoy it when it comes, but not suffering when it is absent. To Epictetus, the richest man is the one who requires the least. Lesson 10. Philosophy must be lived. Epictetus constantly reminded his students that philosophy is not something to admire from a distance. It is something to live every day. To speak of virtue but fail to practice it is meaningless. To study wisdom without applying it is wasted effort. Philosophy, he said, should be like a good pair of shoes, not just displayed on a shelf, but worn in the walk of life. The mark of a philosopher is not clever speech, but a life that reflects inner strength, humility, and calm. We move closer to true freedom. These teachings are not relics of ancient Greece and Rome. They are timeless tools for anyone seeking strength in times of uncertainty. Imagine what would change in your life if you stopped resisting what you cannot control and instead focused on shaping your response with wisdom and dignity. If these lessons from Epictetus spoke to you today, I invite you to take them beyond this video. Start small. Reflect tonight on one choice you can make tomorrow to live with greater courage and calm. And if you want to keep exploring the wisdom of the Stoics and other great thinkers, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Click the notification bell so you will never miss a new episode. Share this video with someone who might need these timeless reminders, and let us know in the comments which of Epictetus' lessons resonates most with you right now. The Stoics believed that philosophy is not about knowing more, but about living better. Let us take these lessons into our daily lives and prove, through action, that wisdom still has power in our modern world.